TRC EDC back again with another knife video. This is the Benchmade Bailout. There is a new version of this coming out. I figured now's a good time to do a long-term review. Just a heads up, I did sell this knife, so just as a disclaimer, you should be aware that I have already sold this knife. So I've had it for quite a while. I bought it around the same time that I bought my Benchmade Bugout, and this is not a stock one. This has the micarta scales on it. This is the GRY version. But I wanted to talk about just my long-term thoughts on this, because initially I really did like it, although I was very clear that I preferred the Bugout over the Bailout, despite the fact that I usually prefer larger knives, and my aversion to getting the Bugout in the first place was that I felt it was small. Ultimately I ended up liking the Bugout, but it did surprise me that I liked the Bugout better than this. A couple notes. So the new one has M4 steel instead of 3V. The 3V on this got a lot of complaints because it was run soft. I haven't had a ton of issues with the edge holding on this, but I also haven't hard used it. So I guess I should just make you aware of that. That being said, M4 is a much better steel, or steel choice, I think, in the long run. It's also run at a higher Rockwell. So that's something to be aware of. The aluminum scales, I think, are a better choice for this. I never understood plastic scales in a knife that, even though you're trying to make it lightweight, and even though it was meant to be sort of a larger Bugout that was more of a field knife, it just never made sense. I mean, aluminum is light enough that it's not really that big of a deal. I mean, people for years have been very satisfied with the aluminum that comes on the 940 and 943, and with the amount of aluminum that you're dealing with here, this wouldn't have been a much heavier knife than that, and would be very easy to take into the field. So I was glad to see that they did aluminum on that. I also want to mention that, this is a thinner knife, so I assume the aluminum one is also maintaining the thinness. Therefore, it'll be even lighter probably than the 940, although, I double-checked the specs on it. Another difference is that the pommel here, the back of it has, the lanyard hole is about half the size. The other half is now a glass breaker, so that's something to be aware of. So the three main differences are M4 steel in the new one, whereas this had 3V, aluminum scales in the new one, whereas this is plastic, and there's a glass breaker on the end of the pommel. Those are the biggest differences. Now, I will agree with a lot of the people who have already said this out there, but that is how the Bailout should have come to begin with, and that's not the reason I got rid of this. I'm not running to go buy the new version of the Bailout. I may handle it in a store and see whether it's worth buying, but I'm not in any rush to get it. The main reason why I'm getting rid of this is because I just don't carry it, and that's really my long-term note, the takeaway that you should have here. The reason I don't carry it is because I have this knife, the Benchmade Bugout, and I have this knife, the Hogue Deca, and, well, before I bring that in, so if I want a light knife, I choose this. If I want a light knife that's a little bit harder use, I choose this. And if I want a much harder use knife that is also light, I'm going to choose a carbon fiber 940. So, the blade on this is extremely stout. The construction is very good. It's very light. These are all better options than this. Okay? That's pretty much the main takeaway here. So, conclusions, the Bailout is, if you want to have it as your own, as your knife, it's a perfectly adequate knife. I don't have any complaints about it. But there are just so many better options for the $140 you're going to spend on this. You can get a 940 for 180-ish, or even as low as 120 on the secondary market. 180 would be new. You can get the Bugout for as low as 110, 115 new, or in the GRY versions I think is about 135. or you can get them on the secondary market for about $90, to $100. And the Hogue Deca, you're getting 20 CV and G10 for 145 bucks, 148 bucks. So, and especially considering these two cost basically the same, it really doesn't make any sense to get this if you haven't already gotten one. If you're looking for validation for your purchase, you already purchased a bailout, I'm sorry, you're not going to get it. I don't go out of my way to do negative reviews, but you watch the channel because I'm honest, and I'm just being honest here. I would, if this came up and you have other options available, I would pass on this. So that's my long-term update. Thanks for watching, guys. We're almost, by the way, we're almost at 750 subscribers. Once I hit 750, I probably will be doing another giveaway. So let's see how fast we can get there, and keep your eyes peeled for another giveaway. Thanks so much for watching. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can get all my content, and go ahead and like and drop a comment on the video. I'd like to hear your thoughts about the bailout as well. Thanks. Bye.